This is capstone. Guys, who's my lead?
What?
I'm going to have to confer with you in a minute. Alright, you guys know what class this is, right? It's capstone?
Yeah.
Yes? Do you understand what that means? Kind of, sort of? This is my 2D, yeah?
Yeah.
That's why we're in that room upstairs instead of here, because these tablets suck for drawing. Alright. Let me start recording first while I talk to you guys about how different this is. This class is completely different. And now for something completely different. Another trucker, where's my fucking pinauto again? You don't pineapple. Pineapple. Why that's not on by default is like ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. That was insane. This time was perfect. That time was perfect. No cap. I feel like I don't.
You can do it. Alright, let's go back. Let's go back to the silly bus and explain all the stuff that's totally different about this one. It's actually different. There's good things and bad things.
Nobody they do like this.
Alright. Alright guys, so this is capstone and it's the fall semester, which means we are working on character design as far as and doing the sheets that make sure that everyone stays on model. Does anyone know what staying on model means? Right, it's just making sure that the character always looks at the character no matter what angle, no matter what, you know. Color swatches, making sure our color design stays the same. We normally, every semester thus far, we have used, we've made a rig. So we'll do both frame by frame and a rig version. Usually that's what we do. Because anything that's like, we can get away with cheap, as I affectionately call it, we use a rig. Everything else is hand drawn frame by frame. And not everyone, I have found that it's very, very difficult for a group of people, of anyone, even professionals, to actually stay consistent style across the board. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff that we're gonna be doing that you're not used to, like we will have to decide on a color and we need to give that color to everyone, whether it's by Pantone color or HSV number or something. Brushes, we have to use the same brushes to draw the characters. We can't, you know what I mean? So there's all these considerations that you normally don't have to do. We're also going to meet with clients. I already have the client meeting set up. So we're meeting with our client every 2 weeks. And I believe our client is Univision.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's our client. Now, when I say we, I mean leads. So I have one lead, which is by default, because it's your story. But then I need possibly a producer, at least one more person that's like lead. Because there's art direction, which is like, so if it's your story, your job is to do art direction. So art direction is making sure the story is true to the original, making sure the characters are behaving and acting and looking and sounding like they're supposed to, making sure the color palette is correct across the board. And then there's the producer, which is keeping everyone on task and kind of cracking the whip, if you will. All right. One of the first things I need my lead to do is, or if someone wants to volunteer for this, it'd be lovely. I need a Discord page for all of us. We function a lot on Discord in this class. Like a lot. Like a lot. Okay? Like a whole heck of a lot we need on Discord here. And I say that to you guys because I need you to understand that Discord is not optional. It's very, very rare. Most people are on Discord already, but once in a while I'll get someone whose mommy doesn't want them on Discord for some fucking reason. And if you need me to write you a fucking note, I'll write it. But you gotta be on it. Get it on your phone, whatever. The point is, guys, in this is not a class, it's a studio now, right? So, like a job, we have to be able to contact you, basically. We need to be in contact with people. And you guys are working as a group. So for example, some of you will need parts from others, right? So for example, my riggers last year for the character needed the hands, right? So in 2D rig, you have swap outs, substitutions it's called. So basically like one person's job is to draw the hand in every position you think the hand's gonna be in, and you have to supply that to the person who's responsible for rigging so they can connect those hands, right? So that the hands pop up, okay? And those two people really need to be in contact with each other a lot, okay? So those kind of things, that's why we have Discord. Long story short, guys, we won't get the short done if we're only meeting Monday and Wednesday. And then like kind of wiping our ass with it the rest of the week. Like it's not gonna get done, basically, okay? Just a heads up. The only reason all the capstones have been successful thus far is because we talk to each other all the time and we're on Discord all the time. As a matter of fact, specifically for the Monday, Wednesday capstone, and I wouldn't start this right away, but I would consider strongly having like an off-campus, just on Discord meeting with your team on Fridays. Because that span of time between Wednesday and Monday, so that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, some people clock out mentally, which you shouldn't, so I'm just kind of setting you up now. And it's also a difficult semester, so a lot of things in play, okay? You guys are gonna do something really weird in this class, and that is you're going to apply for the job. So the first assignment, and you don't have to do a lot of work for this assignment because it's all the work you already have. We'll talk about that. So your first assignment, that's due pretty much right away, is the portfolio. I have to change the date on that because August 27th is not a date. What is this? What the fuck? Oh, it's Thursday. I got you.
What?
I have to change that, don't worry. Is portfolio. You need to submit a portfolio. This is twofold. You need to submit a portfolio and submit what you'd like to do, what positions you'd like to apply for. Skip the fact that it says Maya. I do the 3D capstone too, and I just copy paste it. Okay, don't need Maya scenes, obviously. All right. Google Drive link would be the best thing. If you guys, does everyone know how to use a Google Drive link? Yeah?
Yeah.
Just a couple you don't? Okay, so I'll help you guys with that, those of you that don't. Basically, a Google Drive link that we can see all your work. So, for example, you want to be a character animator. Now, by the way, God, I shouldn't have said character animator. Why did my brain go there? Exactly. Everyone in my capstones animates. Everyone. Every single person is going to animate, whether you want to or not. Now, whether your shot goes to the end is another story, but everyone's animating, okay? Everybody. All right, so I'm a 2D capstone, I need backgrounds, right? I need backgrounds, I need background people. So if you have map paintings or backgrounds, or just anything you've drawn, again, you might not have the specific thing, but just show me you can draw. That'd be good. If you want to do specifically character rig, if anyone knows Illustrator, that would be delicious. They need to be done in Illustrator. A lot of people can draw characters, but they don't know high nor end of Illustrator, and it needs to be vector-based. Don't know if you guys know about that. Vector-based is a thing. Okay, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the difference between vector-based and non-vector-based and all that fun stuff. What's some more stuff we need? We need editor. We don't need a lot of them. I only need maybe like 1 or 2 people that know After Effects really well or would like to Now, some of you are gonna like learn on the job, if you would. Does that make sense? So I'm not expecting anyone to be an expert here. As a matter of fact, last year, the rigs were beautiful for the capstone last year, their 2D capstone. And it was one student that had some experience and another student that had never touched the software before in his life. And he did amazing. He really freaking did amazing. So if anyone has experience with Toon Boom, mention that in the portfolio because we need that. That's the industry standard, you guys have access to it. The good news is most of you really want 2D animation, so you're in the 2D animation capstone. The bad news is that we're using Toon Boom, which is the industry standard. That's like the creme de la fucking creme. But, and there's where the but comes in, they are not education friendly for shit. At all. Like, you will not have a version at home. They're extremely expensive. We have begged and borrowed and done everything. They wouldn't, let's put it this way, they wouldn't even give us, grant us licenses for students during COVID. Like, the beginning of COVID, like March 2020. Like, they were like, no, I'm going to hell. And we're like, what? But like, everyone's doing it. And they're like, we don't. And it's like, okay. So, that's the only thing. You are going to have to spend some time outside of the class working on stuff. If that's like a real deal breaker for you, go into backgrounds. Because you can draw backgrounds wherever, okay? The characters in frame by frame, if you want to do frame by frame animation versus rigged animation, now by the way, no one's gonna be put into those positions, I don't think, till the end of the semester. We're not gonna be ready for animation at all. Do you know what I mean? Like, for a while. The other thing is storyboard and storyboard panels and the animatic, right? Because we have to pitch it to the client again. There's gonna be things they wanna change. I know them. I work with them all the time. They're very nice clients, okay? They're usually really gentle with the student. They're not Disney. Disney's my toughest client. Disney's my absolute toughest fucking client. Univision's usually kind of like, they'll ask for improvements and ask for a body of work and whatever, but they're not gonna change your whole story. And Disney will. Just a heads up. Disney will change your whole story, they'll change character designs, it'll be insane. Just a heads up. So, your first assignment is, so that I know where to put you guys, is to show a body of work. And by the way, I don't do this, the leads do it. As far as look at the body of work and put people into their positions. Something that's really weird about this class you're gonna find, and you're gonna have trouble getting used to as time continues, but we're gonna have like the whole year together, is that this class, I'm not in charge to an extent. Does that make sense? I'm like the mentor. I'm like telling you what needs to get done at what time, but I'm not in charge of it. Your lead's in charge. The reason I say that is that you guys, this is how it works. You guys will be put in a position, right? So let's say you're the rigger, right? And we will tell you when that needs to get done by, just turn this off real quick. When that needs to be completed, when your checkpoints are, how much needs to get done, when we go into testing, so on and so forth, okay? There are going to be times in this class where, for example, if you're the animatic person, like if your job is to, and everyone knows what an animatic is, right? Okay. If you're in charge of the animatic, obviously you're waiting for the artist to do all the work to feed you so you can do the animatic. Does that make sense, right? So you might have time where you're not really doing anything in the class. Please understand this is run as a studio, which means you have to be here. Please, for the love of God. That's something for one reason or other, last year's capstone had a little bit of a weird thing about. They got a little flaky on me. If my leads get flaky, I will drop kick you 6 ways from Sunday. I'll warn you that now. Lead is a really important position in this. You are literally the leads. I can have leads if the lead decides that they want a smaller group lead, right? So last semester we had frame by frame animation lead, which wasn't the person that pitched. Does that make sense? So there's gonna be hierarchy. Long story short, there's gonna be a hierarchy of people. You have to know who your boss is, and your boss's job is to give you tasks, okay? So for example, the way we did it so we changed it this year. We had to change it. So this is like one big group project, right? And one thing we don't want, and some of you probably already like, oh shit, a group project, I end up doing all the work, is that. That's a lot of assignments. Oh. It's a weekly check. You have to progress on your task every week. That's what it is. Yeah. And the only person that can exempt that, let's say I'm the animatic artist. I can't really do anything until it's animatic time, right? Now, mind you, you can have more than one position. As a matter of fact, the only way to get an A in this class is to have more than one position, right? So you can have the lead tell me, hey, Johnny is not gonna really be working until, all the panels are done, so can you excuse him from 1 through 6? And I can do that. But that's gonna be the lead telling me, not you. Does that make sense? Hopefully I will also know who the hell's what. I also need to be informed, even though I'm not the lead, I do need to be informed what the heck's going on. Thank you. Then there's my leads. Right? So my lead is not responsible, or my leads, right? So director, I have a director, I might need probably the director if they would like, a producer. It's nice to have at least one more member in the big lead, right? And the reason why is if you're sick or you have to miss class or whatever, to have someone else take care of it. So my mentor meetings, my leads must go. So just so you know, so the leads get to learn how to kind of deal with a client and all that stuff and deal directly with Univision, especially in this beginning process. Just so you guys know something that becomes difficult, and it was difficult for me when I got my first job. This was like, this really stuck in my craw, if you will, and that is that my client makes the fucking final decision. It's true, it's hard to let go of certain things, right? Where you're like, oh no, but the character's eyes have to be blue because, I have all this wonderful rich black story about like why their eyes are blue and it's amazing and blah. And it's like, nah, it's not gonna work. Or whatever like weird, it's like, oh, too many characters have blue eyes, we have to have at least one character. Whatever, it's a stupid argument. And you have to change it, and it just, I'll talk to the lead specifically about when to pick their battles. If you guys have suggestions for streamlining the process or what have you, if you come up with anything clever, freaking love that stuff. But just so you guys know when you're giving the lead feedback or if we're looking at stuff, by the way, the usually, and I don't do this so much with the 2D capstone, but it will come a time where you guys will present every week. You'll present in here. So the lead's gonna present, like, this is where we're at with all the backgrounds. This is where we're at with all the characters, right? And guys, I wanna say, like, we want your feedback, but ultimately it's up to the director and the mentor and the client. Does that make sense? So don't, you know what I mean? It's like a fine line. Like, I want you guys to give feedback, like, whoa, that character's eyes look too big. And it look kind of goofy. And it's like 5 more people, but it look kind of goofy. It's like, maybe that's something we should address. But if we like talk to the mentor, we're like, hey, we got some feedback that the eyes were a little goofy, you know what I mean? It's like, no, I like it. It's like, okay. So if you see like the eyes weren't changed, you'd be like, why the fuck did you guys change the eyes? I told you. And it's like, yeah, well, guess what? The client was like, no. Okay. But I still want to hear, because sometimes the client's like, oh yeah, the eyes were looking goofy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be scared, but also don't be upset if it doesn't change, or if your feedback wasn't incorporated into the group project, because it might not be. Do you know what I mean? So we want your feedback, we value the feedback, but it might not get incorporated. Just understand that, okay? Again, we're probably not going to be animating for a while because we still need all the characters. I encourage you guys, especially for the 2D capstone class, don't waste your class time. Start playing with a program. What? Oh, it's not mine. Okay. I think that's not mine. All right. Then there's the spring semester. Obviously, that's long away, just so you guys understand the 4 leads. So if anyone's sitting there like, I think I'd like to be the producer and I'd like to be a lead, please understand the commitment it is. We will begin to have, towards the end of the semester, music meetings, where we're going to meet with the, and again, this is with leads. We meet with the New World School's art composer that's going to make the music. Okay. Leads are also responsible for our casting call. Do we have words in this one?
Yes.
I never got a copy of it. Okay, cool. We have words. Awesome. So we need actors. All
I
right.
can voice it.
Right, so and coincidentally, I was getting to that. There will be a time where there's a casting call. We do the casting call for everyone. So casting call is for all students, New World School of the Arts students also. So there'll be acting students competing with you. It is kind of a competition. It's up to the lead whose like voice sounds more like their vision of what the character should sound like, right? But please, if you're interested in the voicing, yeah, that's something that you can do, okay? The thing that we don't want you to do, I have always at least one or two budding musicians and composers, that is enough. That we have like a long-standing relationship with the students that do our music, okay? And I'm talking music compositions. So the person that writes the score of the music, right? That's not sound effects. Does that make sense? Sound effects is a whole other category when it comes to sound for animation. That's like a whole other bitch, okay? That is someone's actual job. He's like over there. You ever see the poor sad man that's in this little glass cage over here?
Yeah. Damn. Ouchie.
He's getting paid to sit there and look at his phone. Stop. Don't feel bad for him. Don't feel bad for him. Don't feel bad for him. I'd love to be left alone in a little class fucking room and get paid for it, okay? That sounds fabulous.
Just sit back, watch the phone, and then chill. That's all.
I do teaching online classes at the same time. I was just hanging in a room and like double dipping, okay? I would be making big. Alright, so that's Alex. He's in charge of providing us with what we ask him for sound effects and leveling our sound. So making sure, you guys ever do that? Oh my God. Hey, he does the job that you wish bitches on TV would. You guys ever watch something and it's like, oh my God, the music. Lower volume. And then people are talking to me. It's like, what is, volume up. Oh, the sound, fuck, volume down, volume up. It's like, oh my God, shoot me. So yeah, his job is to make sure that like we can hear dialogue over music, but still hear things. We want to be able to hear. That's like a big plus. So leads have to come to music meetings too. Then in the spring semester, I hate even saying this because it's such a stupid thing. It's stupid because Mauricio, who's your department chair, in case you don't know that, Mauricio Ferrazza, he named it dailies. Is it daily?
No.
It's weekly.
Yeah, the face.
But just so you know, it will happen weekly, but he named it dailies, and he's the boss, so we call it dailies, even though it's weekly. Big sigh. That will be occurring in the spring semester, not in fall, and that is usually, and I don't want to lie because one year was on a Wednesday, is usually every Thursday afternoon. Yes, this is why I like my leads to have a tag. Do you understand? Like I like my leads to have a tag in. So like every other lead, every other week, so it's not every week. You know what I'm saying? If I only have one lead, then they're scarred. They have to come every fucking week. Like you must be there. No one else can present for you. You can pick like lower, I don't want to say lower like an insult, you know what I mean? But like there's like the top lead, the director, you have a producer, and then you have below like lead animation, lead characters. Do you know what I mean? Like you can make that totem pole however you wish, okay? But yeah, you can tag team with other people, like relay race type things, like, hey, I can't do this week, could you, present that week, blah, blah, blah. But someone of the group must present the work, okay? I don't do what Dr. Tomeo does. Dr. Tomeo makes at least two people in the whole class present it each week. If you want to do that, you can. But,
Besides,
yes,
make it a Discord server.
I can't see you, my dude.
Make it a Discord server.
You're making a Discord server? Okay.
Yeah.
We already made it.
Oh, no, they already made it.
Aw.
This is why we have to communicate, silly bean.
We didn't want to talk over you.
No, not you. I'm saying to the team, guys, yeah. So leads will let you know, like if a lead wants you to do something, they'll let you know. Or if they need a volunteer for something, which we would be asking. I'm already asking for, I need people that are willing to learn how to rig. Hey, last semester, I got it, bro. It was amazing. And I gotta tell you, with the one student who rigged last year, like, Guaranteed a job. The guy knows how to rig so freaking well, and just taught himself how to rig. It was fucking amazing. Like, for real. It was great. He just like locked in. He's like, this is all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rig. I'm like, okay. And he didn't know squat before. He only knew what I taught him in rigging class. And I don't teach how to rig 2D. 2D is a whole different beast. It's a completely different animal. It's so ridiculous. There's things about 2D animation I don't like as far as a rigged animation, and that is that like, first you have to move to the timeline, to the frame, and then you do the drawing.
Brother.
And that's weird to
You
me.
came at the wrong time.
Hello, sign in, my dear.
Get that one and go back.
Alright, other thing that's very, very different from this class than other classes. Oh, God, there's so much about this class. The final in this class.
Oh boy.
I don't grade you. Your leads do. I grade the leads. I am a fail-safe, right? So if I feel that the leads had personal beef with someone, but I know that that person did a lot of work and they're trying to like fail them out, I'm gonna prevent that. Do you understand? Like I'm not gonna let stuff like that happen. I usually have a good idea of people dropping the ball somewhere, you know what I mean? But I need my leads to have a really, really good, like I need you to give people deadlines and actually follow up. Don't just give someone a deadline. Like Sally, you need to have those hands, you know, due by next Wednesday. What happened in one of my capstones last year is that kind of stuff would happen. So the lead was like, I'm in charge, I give people due dates and I tell them what to do. They never followed up. So then like a month later, when the rigger was like, okay, I need those hands. Where are the hands? Who's doing the hands? Does anyone know who's doing the hands? Well, I told so-and-so to do it. Well, did you make sure they did them? No, but I told them to. No. Okay.
Were you allowed to say which capstone it was?
That was Nightlight.
That makes so much
You're shocked.
No offense, that makes so much sense.
No, it makes sense. It's 3 completely ADHD people. And you put them together to lead. And that was a nightmare before it started. When it got picked, I was crying. I was like, don't make me the teacher for that one. We're so sorry, Sylvia, you're the teacher for that capstone. I like them as people, but as an organizational unit, disaster. Disaster. As human beings, lovely people. For organizing, no, that they were not built for that. That is not their genetic makeup. Everyone's got their strengths, y'all. All right. Speaking of deadlines are deadlines. Even though your leads are going to give you the deadlines, remember that if you miss a deadline or if you screw something up, it screws it up for everybody. Okay? Then all the deadlines have to move, which kind of sucks. So, I know it's weird. I literally give the leads a little PDF to like click, like did this person communicate well? Did this person do what they're supposed to? Did they do more than what they were supposed to? Did they volunteer for anything? Nod, wink, wink. Those are the things that get you a better grade, right? And you just click the buttons, basically, okay? And then there's a box for like any issues, right? So, having said that, this is a class you can fail. It is possible. People fail this class. Just so you understand. It's not like a group project. So remember what I went back to before, like this is a giant group project, and some of you are probably like, oh no, group projects, I end up doing all the work. This is not that kind of group project. You can fail as an individual even if the group project goes well for the group. Does that make sense? Okay. Sometimes we will give your task to someone else. That is part of being in a group. If I need something done and you're a great artist, but you're taking too long and not meeting the deadline, I might give it to someone faster. That's just something that's gonna happen, okay? Sometimes your stuff you worked on, based on mentor, based on feedback, based on time, based on whatever, might get cut. That happens, okay? I don't want anyone to think it's a waste of time. It's still good for your portfolio, regardless, right? But we do have to have, like I'll get a lot of students that are really wonderful artists, but they just can't draw in the same exact style to match what it needs to be for the finals. Does that make sense, right? Like you're having to like kind of do art, but based on someone else's style. because that's the way 2D animation works, right? Like, no one thought ever that like all those animators just happen to have the same style and worked on it like a film, right? Like that's a ridiculous thought, right? Like there's no way. But I also need my leads to very clear, so now this is a two-way street. If you need information from your leads and they're not kind of supplying that, then you can let me know. Like, hey, Miss Ives, I've asked for the color palette for like 2 weeks. I can't move forward without the color palette. So you guys gotta be on that stuff too, right? And then I'll come to them and be like, hey, what's going on? Now, everything should be on Discord. So color palettes, now this is a 2D animation. Let's see if a 3D. Oh, this one's an old one, but I still have the 2D animation. Oh, this is when we still worked with Nickelodeon. I miss them. But they closed that entire studio. Like they just fucked all the way off. Inspiration, references, tutorials, blah, blah. This one they didn't actually kind of like break it up into teams, which kind of sucks. So I'm gonna go back to my 3D one, because my 3D people did better at like organizing. This was End of the Line. This is Gator Bites. Okay, so once you're put in a team, and again, this is for 3D, so it's a little bit different, okay? Whoever's in charge of Discord, can you please, organize the team members by group and all that? Oh my God. We had so much fun with this one. Like, I can't even tell you how much fun we had. Here's our character. Have you guys seen this one? Isn't it pretty good? All right. So things I would like to see my leads on the Discord is I'd like to see whatever character designs you have, if you already have, whatever you use for pitch, pop it up here. Okay? Just so people have an idea of like what the story is, and I'll have you like actually open that up today so you can just show everybody today at least like what we're doing, what they're working on. Because some people sign up for this class, they don't know what they're working on at all. It'd be nice to have people know what they're working on, okay? So, the other thing in this class that's a bitch is that attendance is 20% air grade in this class. It's a studio, it's work.
Fair enough.
You need to be here, physically, in this room. Not this room, my bad, I fucking lied. Upstairs, once they fix that effing computer. As a matter of fact, guys, honestly, today, just because I was telling you like what's going on and going over the syllabus and stuff, is the only reason I moved you down here. Because I don't necessarily need the freaking computer for us to be working on stuff. Like, I'm usually gonna be walking around helping people, finding out where they're at and all that crap anyway. That's usually how it works. Okay? So yeah. We're gonna be upstairs in maybe 214, right? So we have during tablets, whatever. So far, before I have the lead come up and take a minute to like populate this so they can share their story with you, do you guys have any question of how Capstone rolls? Yeah, you got a good idea? If you have questions, whatever, just email me. Again, this class is completely different. Everyone's assignments, again, that's why it's so like blank and it's just like assignment number, because every one of you, that number one assignment is gonna be something completely different. Okay, and again, I wanna reiterate for my leads, you may be putting, okay, so this is what's weird about this, is that it's a studio, but it's also a class. So I need every single person in this room to have a task. So if you have to duplicate a task, that's fine. And then best one wins. We do that all the time, Capstone. And it's a hard one to swallow, but like when we get to animation, once we have all our scenes organized and everyone animates a scene, sometimes a shot. Sometimes we end up with less shots than people. So we will give several people, like let's say 2 people on the same shot, and then it's like a fight to the death, basically. Like who's ever shot, the leads picked, that's the one that makes the final cut, right? But yeah, you're still gonna learn a lot. All right, so I'm gonna pause.